Hey guys, so today we're going to do the Dark Alessa look. Um, I said I was going to do it, and then I was thinking about it, and it was so similar to the Lisa Garland look that I wasn't going to do it, but I did a couple things differently in this look, so I'm going to end up showing it. I already did this eye. I don't know if I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye, but I will teach you how I did the eye. And I'll do that first, because that's going to take the most amount of time. The first thing that I did, I'm not at all prepared for this, is I took an angled brush and a dark matte purple. And what I did is I took that. Here, I'm going to show you on my hand because I'm not going to mimic this on the other eye. I thought I was recording when I was doing this, but apparently I wasn't. But what I did is I took the eyeshadow and I just followed the natural bag in my eye and just kind of made a half circle like this. And it doesn't have to be clean at all. And then just get as much as you want. Like this. And then I took like this. And the bag of your eye, just so you know, you can actually see it from here. It's like this. Basically, where you get your under eye circles, it's the bag of your eye. And then, so what I did is I took my finger and I kind of blended that out to get it to blend softer. I took a little bit more of the purple and sharpened the edge a little bit, like that. And then I began using the rest of it to flick it upwards. And then I did with the other side that didn't really have anything, I flicked it down. And it doesn't have to be clean because we're going to be completely covering this anyway. It's just going to give a little bit more depth to it and give that really tired, dead shadow to your eyes. And so I ended up like that. The next thing I did was I took a matte yellow. I'm using my Sedona Lace 120 palette, 2nd edition, and I'm just using this bright matte yellow. It looks daunting, but it's not. And I just got a bunch of that on my brush. And anywhere where the purple wasn't, I just kind of blotted that matte yellow, because purple isn't the only color in a bruise. And I just kind of took my brush and I blended it around. I didn't even bother wiping off my brush because the extra purple on the brush will help blend it. So I did that, and it made it look more bruise-like under my eye. And then finally, I took a pencil. This is I took a black eyeliner pencil, and I went around the outside of the bruise, like this. And again, I took my finger, and I blended it out. And you're going to want to blend it until that line is basically no longer there. You just kind of have that extra bit of shadow. So, it will look something like that. And that is how I made the bruise under my eye. Now, I also took the pencil and from the socket bone, which is just the bone right above your eye, right here, I took the pencil and along that bone, I drew all the way to the inner corner, because the first end of your bruise is going to be about here, and the end is going to be at your outer corner. So from the outer corner of the socket bone, around, and into the inner corner, and I just blended it out. Then after that, just on my middle finger, I took some more of that dark purple, and I blended it into my eyelid. Now I am actually going to do that, so I'll show you that. I just get some on my eyelid. I look down in the mirror, and you don't even need a base for this. You just want it to look really messy. And just keep working it. And if you get a little bit too much like I did, and it's okay if you get fallout even, just wipe away a little bit of the extra, and it really does not have to be clean. Get it everywhere you want it to be. And there. Simple as that, to make your eyes look dead and sunken in. I'm very tired. So now that I've done that, we will continue on with the eye. So this is the bag under our eye. The next thing I did is I took a lip liner. This is a red lip liner. I lined my waterline with the lip liner. Because if we're going to be crying blood, it only makes sense if it's also going to be your waterline. So I lined the waterline. Let's just say this is my waterline. I lined the waterline like this. And I blended it into the lash line. So I blended it down like this. And then from the outer corner, I just kind of started making a tear shape. Like that. I connected. Let's see. Okay, I want you to be able to see this. That's better. I connected and filled it in. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. And I just kind of branched off another. And you can make these shapes in any way that you want. Just remember that a tear is generally not going to go in a straight line because your face is not flat. It's going to follow the curvature of your face. And then from the inner corner, I just made one more. And this, again, it does not have to be clean at all, because we're going to cover this up like I said. This is just going to give you a good guideline. The most important part is to get the red eyeliner in your waterline. So I just kind of have something like this. You can see it's fairly similar. Just flip it. This is my inner corner, this is my outer corner. So, the next thing I did is I went back with my angled brush, and I took a matte black. I'm again going into my 120 palette, and I'm just going to take a matte black, and you don't even need to tab off the extra, and then I'm just going to, under my waterline, start pressing the black, and just kind of randomly press it in to these streaks of blood. It's okay if you get it outside because we're going to be blending it out anyway. And just kind of wipe it off. We don't really need... So that's sufficient. Then what I did is I took a stylus. I had an extra one from my DS, and I mean it'll clean off really easy. I'm probably never going to use this one. But this is just like a Nintendo DS stylus. You could use tweezers, you could use a cotton bud, I suppose, for this step, but it might soak up the liquid that we're going to use. But anyway, just take something that you can use to scoop with, but you don't want it to be big, you want it to be about the size of your blood tears. And then I just took some petroleum jelly, and I got that on the end, like so. And I just kind of started patting that in, like this, and blending it through. Now, you don't want to get too much, and you don't want to get it in your eye, because if you get it in your eye, it's going to hurt like hell. This is speaking from experience. So, just kind of get that through. If you need a little bit more, it's perfectly fine. And then once you have it, just kind of start blending it. And this will really help blend the black and the red and make it more into a liquid. It'll kind of make a blood gel rather than a stage blood, which is very liquidy. And once you've done that, as you can see, it's starting to look a lot more like blood. You can kind of blend out the edges if you want at the bottom, like it tapers off. So now we have this. And I'm going to wipe off my stylus just on my shorts. I mean, they're dark blue. You won't be able to see it anyway. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my stage blood. This is another thing you do not want to get in the eye. Even though it's non-toxic and it will not give you an eye infection, it's going to hurt like hell. And, you know, I don't want to be liable if you go blind. So, don't get this near your eye. So, what I did is I kept it, I put it kind of towards the bottom of the bags of my eyes, like that. And then I put little globs, kind of eased them down, so they would fall down the lines, like this. And as you can see, they're already beginning to run, and that's good. And then I took the stylus again, and I just kind of blended it under my eye, and I kind of eased them along like this. And just kind of blend it out until you're happy with it. And so I ended up very similarly to this. Apparently it looks a lot like ketchup, so if you don't want to do all this, just use ketchup. I don't know. And so that's how I did the eye. Now, the mouth is basically going to be exactly the same thing, and that's why I didn't have much of a problem doing it on my hand, because I'm going to show you again what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to start with black this time, and I am going to open my mouth, and starting at the inner corner, just draw the line of blood that I want. It doesn't have to be clean at all. And then take that, hand to your finger, and blend it out. There. And now, I'm going to take the lip liner, and again, start at the inner corner, and just follow that line. And if you want to be a little bit more realistic, blend it onto your lip. And if you get it a bit out of where you want it, just kind of blend it out. So now we have this. And let's just kind of blend it in. And the next thing I'm going to do is, once more, take the matte black, and I'm going to concentrate this on the inner corner of my mouth where there's going to be more shadow. And this really does not have to be clean. So I'm just doing that. Get a little bit more. Take your finger again. And just blend it in. Now I'm going to take my stylus again, a little bit more petroleum jelly, and run that along. Now petroleum jelly you can ingest, so if you get a little bit in your mouth, it's fine. It's not going to taste very good, but you're not going to die. And I'm going to do that. Now the blood is kind of similar to the petroleum jelly. You don't want to get it in your mouth. It's going to taste really bad, and it might give you an upset stomach, but it's not going to hurt you. So I'm just going to start at the inner corner of my mouth. Like this. I'm going to tilt my head back a little bit and point it away from my mouth. And just squeeze a little bit out. Thank you very much. And then go back in with your stylus. I'm trying not to get it in my mouth, so I have this side closed. Go back in with my stylus and just kind of ease it down the line. And I'm just going to taper it off at the end, like it dripped off my face. And so, this is what we have for our Dark Alessa look. This is what your eye is going to look like. This is starting to dry, so the fake blood stays pretty wet, actually. And so this is what it looks like. You could eat with this on. I would try to avoid eating on this side, obviously. But this is what it looks like. She smiles. She's very happy about being bloody. And I mean, you can put the blood anywhere you want. In the picture, she had splatters and stuff because it was raining down. But yeah, so this is my rendition on the Dark Alessa look. I hope you like it. A couple things that could make this a little bit better is if you have a foundation that's a lot lighter than your skin tone, and just put that all over to pale it out before you start. And if you get fallout from like the purple or black eyeshadow, that's fine. Just blend it in. It'll add to it. So, this is what we have. I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.